Welcome to a special recording for the History Kids. This is the Saturday before Remembrance Sunday 2019. So with the History Kids, we're going to do a special quiz on the Great War, as many call the First World War. We're going to ask some true or false questions and go around the three of them. Are we ready?
Yes!
Number one, Grace. The Battle of Mons began on the 23rd of August 1914, one of the earliest big actions of the First World War. British soldiers later claimed they were protected during the battle by a group of angels. True or false?
I'm going to say true, because in the World War I stuff was a bit crazy and that just sounds a bit crazy.
The British managed to beat back the Germans despite being outnumbered, and they thought that God had sent a ghostly army of angels to help them. To this day, no one really knows the truth about the angels of Mons. Number two, Alex. French soldiers were taken to the front line for the Battle of Marne in September 1914 by taxi. True or false?
I'm going to say true.
True. France ordered every taxi cab in Paris to be available to take soldiers to the front line so they would get there in time for the big battle. Jake, number four. The Battle of the Somme began on July the 1st, 1916 and went on until November 18th. The French and British attacked German lines. In that time, British suffered 57,470 casualties. True or false?
That sounds crazy, so the answer is false. True.
False. The casualty figure was 7,000 for the first day alone. On July 1st, this is still a record for losses. Number four, back to Grace. There were three major battles around Ypres in Belgium throughout the war. In the last battle, there was a young Winston Churchill, the great Second World War leader, was almost blinded in a gas attack. True or false?
I'm going to say true, because I think that happened a lot to people, especially famous people in that time.
False. It was a young Adolf Hitler who was smothered by the ghastly gas. In the whole of the First World War, horrid Hitler was awarded 6 medals for bravery. Number 5, Alex. The French and British attack at Arras began on October 1st, 1914. It was a failure for the Allies because they only managed to capture a single hill. True or false?
I'm going to say false.
Correct. It was a success for the Allies because they had managed to capture a single hill. The hill was known as Vimy Ridge, captured by Canadian forces, and it was very important. Number 6, Jake. Verdun was the longest battle of the war, beginning February 1916. The Germans were led by a prince. True or false?
False, because they can only be led by war leaders.
It was true. The Germans at the Battle of Verdun were led by Crown Prince William, son of Kaiser William II. Number 8, Grace. The Battle of Jutland in 1916 was the most famous sea battle of the war. The British won and the Germans' fleet did not sail again for the rest of the war. True or false?
I really don't know with this one, but I don't know why they wouldn't sail again. I think they...
So is it true or false?
I think it's true, because if that happened, they might have thought they might still be there.
It is both true and false. It's true the German fleet was so badly damaged by the British that it spent the rest of the war in dock, but no one could claim it was a great success. For the British, they lost thousands of men, so they considered it a draw through history, but they both claimed victory. Alex. The Battle of Cambrai in November 1917 was such a disaster for the British that the government ordered that church bells were not allowed to ring. True or false?
Well, I'm going to say true because if the church bells rang randomly in the middle of a fight and the Germans would get alerted when the church bells ring and then they'll start storming houses.
Kind of a good answer, but it was the church bells that would have rang back in England, so they wouldn't have heard them. But it's false. The Battle of Cambrai was considered such a success for the British that the church bells were allowed to be rung for the first time since the war began. Number 9, Jake. The Battle of Neuve Chapelle was fought between the 10th and the 13th of March 1915. More shells were fired in the first 35 minutes of this battle than in the whole of the Boer War, just 15 years earlier. True or false?
I don't know. I think true. True.
True. Methods of warfare and weapons had changed dramatically between the end of the Boer War in 1902 and the First World War. So they had a lot more guns and shells. Number 10 goes out to everybody. Now, I know we can't see a show of hands, but I will say what I see. Number 10. The Battle of Assin began in September 1914. It was named after the nearby town. True or false?
True. True.
Hands up for true. All three are saying true. It's false. Like many other battles in the First World War, including the Somme and the Marne, it was named after a nearby river. So, well done everybody for the quiz.
I thank you for coming out, everybody.
Thank you for participating. Again, we would like to say tomorrow is Remembrance Sunday, and the reason is we remember the many that had fallen in the war, so lest we forget. So please do, if you're going to church or you're near a memorial, please do pay your respect and always wear a poppy. And a thank you from the History Kids for listening.
Thank you.